Good evening, and I'd like to discuss with you this week's Parashat Mishpatim. 8 years ago, a space shuttle, the Challenger space shuttle, crashed, killing all 7 astronauts who were on board. One of them was an Israeli by the name of Ilan Ramon. Ilan Ramon was a pilot in the Israel Air Force, and he was one of the 8 pilots who flew on a dangerous mission to Iraq, and thank God they were successful in destroying the nuclear reactor which Iraq had built in its effort to try, God forbid, to destroy the state of Israel. He volunteered to be the last plane in the formation, putting himself in great danger. Possibly in this merit, he became an astronaut, and he was on the Challenger. And while on the Challenger, he made a great Kiddush Hashem. He sanctified the name of God. He insisted on not being over on Chilul Shabbat, not desecrating the Sabbath. He asked to take along with him Jewish objects, such as the Torah scroll, a small Torah scroll that had been saved from the Holocaust. He took a picture that a child had drawn in one of the concentration camps. He took a mezuzah, tfilat haderech from his wife, and he took wine and a goblet to make kiddush. While flying over Israel, he took out the wine, the goblet, and he made kiddush. And as they reached over Jerusalem, he proclaimed, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. The Lord of Israel, the Lord is one. And mysteriously, a few minutes before they were supposed to land, the shuttle crashed. But what was unusual was none of the bodies were found except for the head and one of the legs of Ilan Ramon, which were later brought to Israel, and he was buried there. It is almost amazing that his name is mentioned in our portion. He was killed on Shabbat Mishpatim, on the Shabbos, and this week's Shabbos Mishpatim, we find his name. It says Aleph Ramon, for Ilan Ramon. It's found in Exodus 24, verse 17. The appearance of the glory of Hashem was like a consuming fire on the mountaintop before the eyes of the children of Israel. The first word of this verse, Umar'eh, including the last letter of the previous verse, contains the name Aleph Ramon, spelled backwards. On that tragic day 8 years ago, God certainly revealed himself like a consuming fire. Not only is Ilan Ramon's name mentioned in the Parsha, but it's even mentioned in the Holy Zohar, again in our Parsha, Parashat Mishpatim. The Zohar is discussing some mystical idea, but it alludes to Ilan Ramon. And I quote, this is volume 2, leaf 105. The Zohar first brings up the verse, lift your eyes heavenwards, and see who created these, who bring out their hosts, b'mispar, by number. Everyone has a name, none are missing. And the Zohar asks, what is b'mispar, by number? And the Zohar answers, rather, the Holy One, blessed be He, has one creation that lights up from one end of the world to the other end. And it is a great and powerful tree, Ilan. His rosh, head or beginning, reaches the top of the heavens, and his sof, his end, are his roots that stretch, and they are rooted in the Holy Land. And his name is Mispar. It's fascinating that the numerical value of the word Mispar, including 1 point for the word itself, which is called the Kolel, is 381. The numerical value of the name Ilan Ramon is 381. Is that a coincidence? It's very interesting to note that President George Bush gave an address to the nation of the United States while announcing this tragedy, and I quote, "Today we see a tragedy in the sky. As far as we can see, there is condolence and hope. As the prophet said, lift your eyes heavenwards and see who created these, who brings out their hosts by number. Everyone has a name. None are missing." I get goose pimples as I read this, because it's the exact verse that is quoted by the Zohar on our Torah portion. They did not reach, he said, the Creator who made the stars and knows their names also knows the names of the 7 men we are mourning over today. They did not return home. However, God remembers them and they have a home. We are praying for them. May God bless their families and may God bless America. But Ilan was brought home. His roots started in the land of Israel and they were brought back to be buried in the land of Israel. What's also very interesting is that there was another crash, this time on the Challenger. And who was on the Challenger? Judy Fleischman, also a Jewess. 2 crashes and 2 Jews. It makes us wonder what's going on. Perhaps there is a message here that the place of a Jew is on planet Earth. Because on planet Earth we can keep the commandments. In outer space, there is no tefillah bismana. There's no tefillah at its proper time. There's no reciting of the Shema at its proper time. How does one keep Shabbat? A person is orbiting again and again and again so quickly. When's Shabbat? So perhaps God is telling us the Jew belongs here on planet Earth. We know that the best place to live is the land of Israel. In fact, there's a commandment to live in the land of Israel. It's brought down in the Talmud Bavli, Baba Batra 91. And the commentators, such as Rashbam, say that the reason why a Jew should live in the land of Israel is because only in the land of Israel can he keep most of the commandments that depend on the land of Israel, such as taking off the tithes, the trumot and masrot, keeping the sabbatical year, etc. Perhaps the message is, our purpose is to be here on earth, to keep mitzvot. However, Ilan Ramon was able to sanctify the name of Hashem, the name of God. He said, I am a Jew, therefore I must have a Torah scroll, a mezuzah, I must have kiddush. Let us all merit to sanctify the name of God throughout our lives. Good Shabbos.